Oh, really?
Hello, and welcome to Beyond the Rift. I'm your host, DeamonMachine. This is my co-host, Revel. We are here with several team captains and or team captain stand-ins for different teams. And, of course, Lionheart over there in the corner as just a regular guest of ours. And so we have Ullew standing in for... oh, no, he's not standing in. He is the team captain of BLG.eu. I was thinking Psiyo was here.
Who are
we, of
you?
course, have Dmbrandon from Juice Gaming. PonPonWeiWei from Girth Gaming. And Dradow from Team haiCon.
And the Dungeon of Doom.
Yes, and
just in
obviously
case you're
the Dungeon of
wondering.
So thank you guys for joining us. Lionheart, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. How about yourself?
Quite nice.
Quite nice.
Ullew, how are you doing?
I'm in inner balance with myself.
You're in a balance with yourself. You look good.
I feel that.
Yeah, how was that latest win at the WOGL?
You mean ESN?
Nope.
Yes, ESN.
Yeah, that felt actually pretty good. That's like, I feel it's our first real result as a team. So that's definitely something we can be proud of. And we managed to beat SG, which is also a very, very good team. So definitely happy with that.
Yay. Mr. Dmbrandon, how are you tonight? And I guess tell everybody a little bit about yourself then.
I guess pretty normal. It's a pretty average American day.
Nice.
Just, being free and living. But I'm Dmbrandon. I'm captain of Juice Gaming. That's pretty much it.
Great. Awesome.
I hear you guys are pretty good.
Yeah, we're really good.
Oh. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't sugarcoat it. And then PonPon, how are you this morning or evening? It's really late for you. It could be morning.
It's getting late for me. I just woke up, but I'm doing good. I've woken up a bit now.
Excellent.
So
you are, of course, the team captain of Girth Gaming, right?
we
Glitch
don't really
game.
have a team captain.
Yeah, I thought it was glitch gaming.
Glitch
Yeah,
game.
it's Girth and Glitch Gaming.
Oh, okay.
We don't
I'm
know
confused.
yet.
You'll pick one
Lionheart's
eventually.
to thank for that.
The name just fit, man. What can I say?
I like
Not a
Glitch
bad
better.
name, honestly.
I like Glitch.
It is. I like Glitch better. So, Dradow, how are you doing in your dark cave of dungeon doomness?
I'm doing perfectly fine, man. So, I'm the captain from haiCon EU, and we're just a newly formed team. That's pretty much it about it.
Nice. Cool. All right. Well, let's get on to the business. Of course, there is this lovely new god called Ares that has just come onto the scene.
Yes.
How many
With
of you have
quite
played
a-
him?
With quite a chainy splash.
Raise your hand
I
if you've
played
played him.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We
nice.
can't see two of you because you don't turn on your camera.
My hand is raised.
Raise hand.
So,
So, what are your initial impressions so far? We're gonna.
Ares sucks.
Ares sucks.
Ares sucks.
All right.
Any other opinion?
He's a bit underpowered.
Underpowered. Okay. PonPon?
A bit.
His laning phase, he doesn't have really any pushing, and I don't know how he's gonna how is he ever gonna fight something like Sobek Cupid? He's really good late game with his ultimate, but barring that, he doesn't have really good of a pushing or laning phase. I don't think.
Honestly, though, when he mentioned Sobek Cupid, which is, I think, far and away the best lane in the game. I think everyone on my team agrees. I think most people in the world agree. But really, if you're giving another team a lane like Sobek Cupid, you're going to get stomped on either way. But
Oh, yeah, true.
Ares doesn't have a niche right now. Every tank does everything better than he does.
Yep.
Except for
Except for
people.
pulling Thor down.
Yeah.
Ares is not the best.
Yep. Ares is the only god that can literally pull Thor from the sky down to the ground where you kill him.
That's literally the worst niche in the game. I can beat Thor.
It's like take one underpowered god and pull another underpowered god.
I mean, I'll be interested to see how teams, if teams, I guess, decide to try and use him in competitive play, because there are a couple of kill lanes you can run with him, and I agree with what people have said. I mean, his laning phase pre-level 5 is complete garbage. It's really weak. But once he gets that ultimate, I mean, if you don't have purification beads and you're running somebody in the lane like Rob with him, there's a lot of damage that can come out right away, and you can get some pretty easy kills with that until people buy beads. And even with the beads, you're still taking the damage, you just don't get pulled in. But I've noticed him as kind of a, I don't know if it's fair to say, but he's mainly like an ult bot. I mean, he kind of comes in, uses his ult. When his ult's done,
That's
doesn't
it.
really bring much else to the table,
Yeah.
other than his protection buff.
Yeah,
Interesting.
protection buff. Kind of like Ao Kwong is mid to late game, though he does have a really good laning phase. But late game is pretty much about the
Right, well that's the thing. I mean, like Quan can clear the creep waves, right? I mean, this guy he has his
can't.
3. He can't even hit both the parts of the creep wave, and then he can't even clear the one that he's hitting. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
pretty
Well, no, he
bad.
can. I mean, but I was playing today. I was like level 18, and it took me like a good 5 or 6 seconds to clear a creep wave. At level
Right,
18,
right, but-
it should be dead instantly.
Yeah.
But
But at
I
the early
don't like
levels,
I don't
you
like
know.
hypotheticals. Like a lot of people say, like if you do this or if you do this. Like if you need to figure out situations in which a character is going to be good, then you're looking for reasons to play a character you like. If you want to do that, just play the game for fun. If you're going to play him competitively, you got to realize like this character has too many flaws right now. Too many flaws.
What were you gonna say, Lionheart?
Well, I was just gonna say, you know, the ability to clear creep wave doesn't come so much later. Like early on, he can't clear anything.
I mean,
you
how-
could use
how-
all of his abilities, he still doesn't clear it. Like in the early levels.
How can he
but
clear it at the end? I mean,
Well, if he gets enough scaling, if he gets enough items, he does eventually. He's able to clear it with his 3. His 1 doesn't really. I mean, there's not much damage there, but I don't know. I mean, his ultimate's it's really good. I mean, I think it's really good. Like it forces you to use your beads right away. It's one of those ultimates. But again, I mean, I guess what Brandon was probably trying to get at is that, you know, there's other gods out there who can also force you to use beads right away. You know, like Hades, for example, or something like that.
Anubis.
I guess the key niche with him is that, you know, if he hits you with his ultimate, there's no jumping out of it. You
Yeah.
have to use beads or you're going to get hit by it.
yeah. I also found his lack of any real escape
Yeah.
whatsoever
Mm-hmm.
not terribly good. I mean, his only escape basically is speed. He can do the shackles, steal some movement speed,
And then run away from you.
and run away from you. I mean, and same, he can pull people away, but as far as like actually getting out of the battle, it's probably one of the worst gods out there for that. So, I mean, so you're forced to play him defensively. You can't really run in anywhere and expect to do anything more than run out
He
the
doesn't
same
have
way
the-
you came.
He doesn't have the survivability to be a real tank, does he? Don't everybody answer
Well,
at once.
I think with the buff, I think with the buff, with his protection buff, he does. But the thing is like after he's used his ultimate, why is anyone on the other team gonna focus him? His damage isn't that good. He's not
Yeah.
really scary. I mean, I feel like after his ultimate's down, you could just ignore him and wipe the rest of the team, and then come back to him later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He doesn't really have like the thing is like he's supposed to fill this like tank role, right? But he doesn't really have like he has the hard CC on his ultimate, but then he doesn't really have any other disruption beyond that. I mean, the chain's slow, but the slow isn't like outrageous, and other than that, there's no disruption, so you can just kind of ignore him after his ultimate's down.
Yeah, if you want to compare him to like other tanks, you have like Sobek and Guan and Hades who can all do things in between, like heal the team, disrupt, all kinds of other stuff. He doesn't really have much, barring like I can slow someone by like 20%.
Or
So-
bolstering your defenses.
Yeah, that's the really only real thing he brings.
Yeah. So if you
Judging
guys
by-
were to be high-res and improve him, how would you do that?
Yeah. How would you go about making him
Better.
come up to par with at least everybody else?
I guess we'll go with Dradow first.
Yep.
What?
What?
I was
Wh-
reading
where
the
am
chat.
I?
Oh, what would you do to
Sorry.
improve, or what would you do to improve Ares to make him more viable in like, high
I
elo
would
play?
try to either increase the damage on his flamethrower or add a slow to his protection buff, like an area thingy.
So it buffs you and then slows them also.
Yes.
I could see that being an
the
option.
enemies
Yeah.
get slowed. Like it's not like creeping curse, so they can remove it, but it's like an aura, and they as soon as they're in your range, they can't remove the slow unless they use speeds.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be unique. Pon, do you have a version?
I think one of the big problems he's going to have to face is his laning phase, and if you made it so that his chain, like how if you hit a target with it, it does like damage over time, have like a 50% damage over time to any minion it also passes through, so you could like chain a champion and then chain the wave, and then you could kind of actually clear the wave by fighting the champion in lane, and it might help him out. But I agree, something with his protection buff, like a slow, or just silence on the chain would be really good. Give him something else for a team fight.
Yeah. Brandon, do you have an opinion?
Make him fucking physical.
Physical?
Like-
Why physical and not magical?
Because we don't need another magical tank. We have 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we there, and
Mhm.
all of his damage is melee. Like his 3 sucks, his 1 sucks, his 2 isn't doing any damage. Like just make him physical. I hate high-res. Like why would he be
Get
magical? There's
Get
no
physical.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all dance.
And it wouldn't
The
be all
fact
that.
that you guys are surprised at my answer is making me angry.
Ah!
We
Well,
like to be
yeah.
surprised. It adds enthusiasm.
I was kind of surprised when he came out that he was magical, just because
Mhm.
it doesn't make any sense. He's the god of war with a giant shield and a
Yeah.
giant sword, and he throws chains, and they're magic damage. What the hell?
Why magic?
Well,
I mean,
it's from the
like,
same company that has released how many champions, and they've either been completely overpowered to the point where everyone screams about bans, or they're useless. I mean,
Oh, that's only happened once or twice.
Well, they're
that's
working
happened
on
every
getting
single
better at
champion
that.
so far.
oh, not every
And
single
her made
one.
and her
Oh.
made Artemis completely useless and controlled that entire role.
Yeah.
People are still complaining about Cupid. This last patch, they somehow made Monkey better. Guan Yu, if we knew about Guan Yu, if we knew what we knew or know about Guan Yu now, then, like I couldn't even imagine what this game would look like. I think everyone would have quit.
It would have been insane, man. Fuck.
Like
Yeah.
so far, they've done an absolutely terrible, awful, embarrassing job of balancing this game, and this champion is just another example of why we shouldn't put our faith in this company.
I wouldn't go
I've
that
seen worse
far.
in other games. It's like
Right, but don't
Not
forget,
like
like other
FAR.
games led the MOBA scene. World of Warcraft Arena was the first real venture into this type of genre, and now we have this company, high-rez, which is following in the footsteps of like 7 different companies doing these games, and they're messing it up every single patch.
They need to throw in some of the high-rated players, like do like a beta server so people can test
I
out
agree
and see.
100%.
Yeah.
It's hugely needed, and there's been a lot of patch changes, like with Hand of the Gods, how that long it took to like become better,
Yeah.
not 10 in every game.
Yeah.
They just need some pro players to go in and like test it out and put their input in.
Recently,
I don't
one
know.
of the high-res members talked about like we don't see Wukong as a problem, and they quoted that stupid chart that they made
Yeah.
where
the
like
stats.
they were like, yeah, he has a 50% win ratio. Like, do they realize that he's a starter character and he's literally in every single game on both teams? Of course he has a 50% win ratio. He wins and loses every single game.
Yeah, but actually, Brandon is pretty right here. Like, he's in every game. Either he gets banned or he gets picked. He's
What was
like
that actually?
he's an obvious choice. Like, you pick Anher Cupid, you don't pick Artemis. You gotta like balance that shit out because they have to kind of fulfill the same role.
What were you
Yeah.
gonna say earlier, Lionheart?
I didn't know I was gonna say something.
You look like you're like.
I'm just listening to the conversation going back and forth right here, trying to absorb everything.
Yeah.
And I know it's great. Yeah. So.
I mean, I guess. No, I will chime in. I guess there's 2 things I was gonna say. One, I think that Ares is magic because 5 of the last 6 gods they released were AD, so they need another magic. Now, do they need another magic tank? No.
No.
I think they needed another magic caster, not a magic tank.
Yeah,
To be
I would
fair,
like
I
a
don't think
magic
they know the
caster.
difference.
I mean,
Sure they do. Range, just the range of the spells. That's it.
I'll tell you that. They do need another magic caster. They released way too many ADs in the last patches. They definitely need another magic caster. But I think that they're trying to kind of balance the kind of releases. I mean, I guess Thor was kind of, some people would argue, underpowered on release or a little weak, and now people are kind of saying the same thing about Ares. And I think they released so many that were so strong on release that now they're trying to do the exact opposite. I mean, I agree with you guys that I think a non-internal test server where players, and not necessarily players all from the same team, but players that will disagree with each other, that will actually debate things, can go and test and kind of give balanced feedback. And and competitive players would be a very good idea on the part of high-rez. I just don't know, maybe if they feel they don't have the resources for that right now or what, but I think that they're just trying to do so many things right now because the game is so young that you're kind of seeing like, a similar repeat of how League of Legends was when it was young. I mean, there was some pretty broken things when League of Legends first launched. There was a lot of stuff you could do that was like, are you kidding me? How is this in the game? And then the company, got more experience and the game started to balance itself out. And so I think when you look at high-rez, it's helpful to try and keep that kind of frame of mind, that they're also young in the MOBA and they're going to encounter the same problems that League of Legends did. They're going to create some things that are good and be good decisions, or create some things that are going to be bad decisions. And I think a lot of the gods that we see released now, including, for example, Artemis, are probably going to get some serious reworks in like a year.
But you still got to consider the fact that, again, I said this before, this company still has the mistakes of other companies to look at. I mean, that's like if we were to go to war as a country and be like, well, I didn't know World War II happened. Like, well, how was I supposed to know? Like, there are so many things, so many avenues that they can exhaust that they're ignoring, specifically, in my opinion, because of ego. And I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think it's because of ego. I just think this is a completely different game genre than what they've already done.
They're used to first-person shooters.
And they
for
don't
starters.
have, for one, they don't have internal testers that aren't the high-res guys, which they've already told us aren't very good at the game.
Yeah, because they're busy building the game.
Yeah, so either they need to get testers or get from the community testers, and the release schedule has to somehow coincide with that.
Yeah.
They have to at least allow them to look at things and be like, this not so good.
Best fix is to pick 2 or 3 pro teams. Quote, I use that with quotes because nobody technically gets paid yet that I know of.
Not enough, at least.
Yeah, not enough at least. That's not enough to make a living. Anyway, side note. Take 2 or 3 of the pro teams and have them play on the new God or new release patch for like a day before that, because most of them have most of the day to play. They could spend at least 3 or 4 hours and just play, several scrims against each other, and they could be like, this guy's terrible, this guy's overpowered, whatever. They can give them, that really instant feedback that they can quickly tweak and then release and say, we have a much more polished version than we do right now. And it hopefully wouldn't take a whole lot to accomplish that, because it's just give 10 or 15 people permission to do that for that day, and then you can take it away and then go on about your business. So it's just you gotta. It's either do you want to fix it now or fix it later, and preferably now, because if you start with broken things now, then people complain, and then it just creates bad things.
Yeah, bad vibes. So,
but I mean, like being able to play on the patch for a whole week or something like that would be the ideal situation, to where if they could, come out with the patch and then say, all right, the patch is done, we're going to test it out for a week to see if we can find anything broken, and then release it. That would be the best deal. So, that's my opinion on that.
They now have the list of like the top 200 players. Just activate all those accounts that are on there, and then have like a public server that you can go on a week before the patch.
Yeah. That would work too.
And that would give a lot more people feedback, because like just 2 teams might not be enough people to give feedback. If they both come to like they're set in their mind of like how God is balanced, they might not give the right feedback versus 200 people.
Yeah,
I agree. But then again, we'll have people like Mushroom Mayhem on there. We'll have a lot more raging that we don't.
Oh no!
And they have like a selected group that actually kind of gives a good feedback and says, okay, this does a little low on damage and so on.
I need to test people out, see who will provide actual constructive feedback, and who's just going to go on there and basically be there just to see new content before it gets released and not really do anything useful.
Yeah, that would be a big kicker.
Yeah, it'd be tricky at the beginning, but those kind of things would be easy to work through, and would provide them what they need. So
yeah,
it all goes over well. So as far back to the Ares thing, if you could change or add or edit something else, what are some other options you guys would have? Or like, what would bring him in line with all of our other gods without making him ridiculously strong?
Didn't we already ask this question?
Yeah, but we didn't get all the way around.
Oh, okay. Who did we miss?
The left side.
Oh,
Maybe?
the left side?
Left side. Maybe
Ullew,
I'm wrong.
do you have an
Maybe-
opinion?
maybe-
I have no opinion, no.
No
I haven't
opinion.
played them yet, so.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Okay. Lionheart, did you have anything else?
I just think he needs more disruption. If that's the role they want him to fulfill, if it's the tanky role, he needs to bring more than the ultimate. You see that kind of an ultimate, a similar ultimate, albeit not exactly the same in League of Legends on Morgana. And she has additional disruption. She has additional hard CC. That's not her only hard CC. That's this guy's only hard CC. And I mean, the slow is an interesting thing, but I mean, to be honest, the mana costs on it are ridiculous. I don't know if that's a bug or if it's intended, but each quote unquote free cast still costs mana. And it just seems kind of lackluster to me. I mean, somebody on the show said maybe add a silence to the chain. I think that would be good. I think being able to silence 3 people though with that kind of ability might be a little over the top. But just take that ability out I don't think that ability needs to be what it is, and just give some kind of a silence or other hard CC to it. I mean, I don't know. Keep it triggered where after a while maybe it snares them at the end of the duration or something for like a second. I don't know. Give him something that's just more hard CC, so you have a reason to focus him after his ultimates now. So he still has disruption, and then I think that the damage on his flame. It needs something for the early levels. It doesn't need to be outrageous. He shouldn't be dealing a lot of damage. He's supposed to be tanky. He's not supposed to be able to damage everybody else. But just a slight adjustment. I mean, it's pretty absurd. I watched somebody today who was 4 levels above their opponent, and they were hitting them with that ability, and it looked like they were basically the same level. The amount of damage it was doing. I mean, it was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Good point.
I think that covers it for Ares. Now, since we want to run through the rest of these patch notes real quick, is there anything that just makes you go, "Oh my God, what did they change, and why did they change it?"
It made Monkey better.
How exactly? Overhand smash ability. This ability no longer goes on cooldown when it is canceled by crowd control abilities.
It just makes it the same as everyone else.
I don't care if it's a bug fix. They made Monkey better.
So what do you do to fix that
every
then?
Game. Like, what's wrong with them?
How do they fix that then?
They don't fucking nerf them.
Just take away
him out
some
of
damage?
The game. Like, you could literally have no gold as Monkey and just be level 5. You just jump over a wall and ult, and your team can win. That's all. Like, he doesn't even need to do damage. He has the most controlling ult in the game.
So what you're volunteering to do is to go on stream and to only get to level 5, not buy any items, jump over a wall, and ult an entire team and see if you stay alive?
My Monkey's really bad. Harvest says I'm not allowed to play Monkey.
So then,
but he has also 6 scaling on his abilities.
Yeah,
he really does.
It doesn't make any sense. Like,
that's why Monkey, and you meet him in the jungle, you're just gonna get who wants to challenge a buff when the other team has a Monkey, because you're gonna for sure get 2 bounces on you and your teammate. And there's flying Monkey, then you're 50% HP. You cannot challenge that in any way.
We've been as Juice, we've been theory crafting with the new Girdle of Might, because this is actually one of the other changes, how it affects everyone around, meaning that everyone around you gets 30 damage. We could actually just have him build level 2 boots or something super strong, like maybe, I don't know, doesn't matter. Just get as much damage as possible. Even with that stupid little potion that gives you 20 or 30. And just pump him up, invade, throw a 3, you'll get 2 people, if they're near each other, down to 25% with 1 move. At level 1. Like, his scaling makes no sense, and all you have to do is ensure that Monkey gets fed and you're guaranteed to win your game. Like, he should never ever be played. No Monkey ever.
So insta-ban all games.
Every game. Like, we don't even think about our ban. Like, you can ban whoever you want on us. You can know that we're banning Monkey every single game.
Good to know.
All right, there's that. What did you guys think about the thing that I saw that stuck out to me the most was the additional items, like consumable slot. So now instead of you only have 2 abilities,
2 abilities
and 2 consumables. I was like, awesome. I was really happy to see this, because now I don't have to choose between wards and pods.
Expect to see.
I was gonna say, would this not increase the early game aggression since you can carry more stuff to use earlier? Would that be a viable,
Yeah, so you can carry health and mana, so you can just
push and not die
if you wanted to. In theory.
Yeah.
It's actually a really significant change, because we started doing the tanks on the side, having Hand of the Gods, instead of the 4 Hand of the Gods start, or the 5 Hand of the Gods start after it got changed the second time, or the first time. But now, with Hand being 750, anything that you want to buy that's not Creeping Curse is going to prevent you from abusing 2 ability slots, or 2 consumable slots, which is a big deal.
Right.
So now it's going to take a lot of counter theory crafting. The only thing I'm wondering is if they gave us 2 consumables because they didn't want to redo the UI.
I doubt it.
I don't like it, actually.
Why don't you like it, Ullew?
Because it's you don't really have to choose anymore.
I agree.
It was like you had to choose, do I go with if you support a tank, would either pick up the wards, because you need to do wards to gain map control, but you wouldn't have any pots, mana or health. So you kind of have to think about how you wanted to play, but if you can bring anything along, it's like, I'm gonna pack this package of good stuff and go around for 10 minutes, and it's gonna strengthen the roamers a lot.
Yeah, so
also, now they can pick up wards and shit.
Yeah, what would be the advantage, game-wise and whole game-wise, opponents and others, of having to choose?
There's also another thing into it. Sorry for breaking up, but there's another thing into it.
What? Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay, sorry, I thought I lost connection or something.
No, you're
But
fine.
it's like, it just changed the meta dramatically by forcing everybody not to buy 4 Hands of a God anymore because it's not viable.
What?
And we didn't really, I think, yet adjust to that before we changed the gameplay significantly again. It's like, I think there's too many big changes at once. We don't see the full effect of the one big change made. So I'm kind of worried it gets kind of out of hand because next 2 weeks we're gonna have like 3 consumables and whatever. It's like it's a big thing that you don't have to think so much about anymore. Which consumables you bring?
Yeah,
I definitely agree.
I'm worried that it's gonna make the early game, rather than like being more aggressive because you have pots, much more passive. Because if you poke someone and you win the trade with them, if they have 2 health potions and 2 mana potions, it doesn't matter. And it's a thing that comes from League, where like if they start boots pots in League, they could just pop potions and stay at full health in lane, and so harassing and poking didn't matter much, unless you could do it like the entire laning phase up to like level 7.
So basically, it's not going to be as punishing laning phase. If you get hit, you're not going to play as careful, but you're still just going to stay there.
Yeah, you're just going to stay there. There's no real threat from being poked anymore. If you start at like 2 health potions, 2 mana potions, and an item or something as like a carry. So that's one of my worries, and also just later on there's going to be a ton more wards, but that's not a bad thing, I don't think.
Yeah,
I'm more worried about the early laning phase.
Yeah, the early part is what it's going to change. My favorite thing with playing, like say you're playing a tank later game, and you want to, and you need to ward, and you want health pots. Now you don't have to actively choose. You can be like, I can get both, and it doesn't necessarily. It impacts gameplay, and I don't know. It's subtle. It's just. It seems to add more depth to it because you can get more focus on everything in between your Minotaurs and not have to worry about going back and getting pots or getting this. It seems like it'll put more face time against the enemy.
Yeah.
Mid to late game. Well, and certainly at the beginning.
Yeah. So.
But, yep. I guess.
Anybody else have any
about
opinion on
yeah.
that? Or shall we move on?
Dradow.
Dradow, Ullew, Lionheart?
I pretty much have the opinion of Yuli, so we can move on if you want.
Yeah, great. All right.
I can continue talking about it if you want, but I don't know. But I can leave a small side note. I'm coming original from League, and I played it for like 2.5 years. And of course you can bring us all this stuff with you. But when you bought it in League, it would fill up slots for other items. So in the end, you would have to choose what you would bring. But also, and I actually like it when you only had one thing, because that made Smite more unique, and you had to think in another way.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of separated from the other MOBAs, and now they're kind of just following the tracks of others, I think.
So should they take away the 1 consumable and just leave it at 2 abilities, or should they go back to 3 abilities?
Yeah, I like the 2 abilities because
You have to be more choosy.
It's the same reason to having like just 1 consumable. If you decide to go like Hand of the Gods early, you only have 1 more ability slot.
Yeah.
And so now it feels like I don't like. I like the 2 abilities, but now I don't have to choose consumables. Where before I had to choose my consumable, my abilities didn't matter so much. I almost like both them to be unique.
Well, I mean, I'll jump in here and kind of play on the other side that I actually don't mind the change to the 2 consumables. I agree with what players are saying that definitely it's going to increase lane sustain. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that people can definitively say after 1 day of testing it out that it's just going to be that poking and harassing the lane means nothing. I mean, I think that still very much, I mean, with the creep waves, how much damage they do, depending on how you choose to pick up aggro or how you gain aggro, I think that the trading's still going to be quite worthwhile. What it's going to do, I think more often than it's not going to punish people who poke. It's going to punish the person who loses the first fight much more, because the people who are in the lane when they normally win that engagement and they would be able to have to port and buy because they're going to be are going to be able to sustain the lane and get an EXP advantage. So I don't think you're going to see poking just disappear. What I think you're going to see is people who lose that first engagement are going to get punished a lot harder than they were getting punished already before. But I don't know. I mean, the whole point about League of Legends and the fact that consumables took up item slots. I mean, we're talking about the early game here. You never had 6 items, in League of Legends at the early game, and you really didn't stack potions past the early game. And I think that it's a little too early to kind of condemn it. I mean, it's great that having one consumable before was a unique feature of Smite, but I don't think that it's a good idea for a company to just say, well, hey, the other games do it this way, so let's just try and be unique and see and just to be unique, just so that we're different. I mean, I think it's worth trying out the 2 consumables, and if sustain is a huge problem, then people don't like having 2 consumables. They can take it back, or they can nerf pots, or they can, by decreasing how much they give you or increasing the cost. There's a lot of ways to adjust it, but I think after 1 day of testing, at least in my opinion, it's a little too early to condemn the entire change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but
he brings up a fun word, and that's called. He keeps saying the word testing, and we a lot of the times forget that this is a beta, and we are essentially beta testers, but we also have to remember the fact that they're letting everyone into the beta. This is no longer, in my opinion, a beta test. This is basically a retail game that they're not letting everyone play. It's like an elitist club right now, and they need to let go of this whole we're a beta, we can do whatever we want shit. They need to be transparent as a company, tell us what their changes are going to be more than 3 hours in advance, and let the top players have some feedback. Because if we could test the 2 consumable thing for a week before letting it go live, maybe everyone wouldn't be pissed, considering even though this game is still new, there's probably a tournament on Sunday. There could be money on the line, and we have 3 days to change our entire meta because of what they changed. It's lame.
Yeah, actually,
it's a lame thing to do.
agree.
There's no
Actually,
transparency in the company. They act like Capcom, and now everybody hates Capcom. Also, shout out to Resident Evil 6 being terrible.
But if I can can I say something?
Yeah, go for it, Ullew.
Extension of that.
Yeah.
But it's like I mentioned earlier, it's a big change to the game, and we didn't see the full effect of just the Headless of the God change, which completely made a new meta going, and we didn't see the full effect of that because we didn't know was there a need for a change.
Right.
And hi-rez could also say what is the thought process behind this? What is the idea? What do they want to achieve? Do they want more passive play? Do they want more aggressive play? And what's the whole idea behind it? I don't get it. It's
Yeah.
does anyone know?
Yeah.
Well, it just might.
Go ahead,
might
Lionheart.
be. Well, no. You go ahead, because I'm gonna bring up a different point. You go ahead, and then I'll
I was
bring
just
up
going
what I
to
wanted to
say,
say.
yeah, I totally
No,
forgot
go
what I
for
was going to say. Go ahead.
It is all yours, sir. I want to keep hearing more about this.
Well, what I was going to say is more related to what Dmbrandon was saying about transparency, and I think that the company is actually pretty good with transparency. There's just not a good spot to find out what they're saying. They post in the forums, but it's scattered, and there's I don't know. I feel like it would be helpful if there was just one place where you could go to kind of see what they're saying, because they let us know a while. They didn't let us know about the consumable thing. That I don't think anybody knew was coming, or I missed that post. But they did let us know that the ability slots were getting reduced to 2 2 weeks ago. They let us know that was a change that was coming in. And you see, if you check haiRez's forum post, who's the CEO of hi-rez, he has 3,600 posts on the forums. I mean, I've never seen a CEO spend so much time on the forums. He's really trying to get the word out there and let people know. When people were complaining about how, and this is something maybe we'll get to in a little bit here, about how ranked elo didn't get reset this patch.
Right.
He was on the forum saying, no, it's still going to get reset. We're just doing other things. Of course, he didn't tell us when it was going to get reset or anything like that, but at least reassured us that we're getting reset. So I think that interesting for me and Brandon to agree. So I agree that there should be more, maybe more transparency in one location that people can easily find. But I think they're trying to be transparent. I mean, I'm not familiar with Capcom as much as Brandon is, and so I can't tell you if they were what their policy was with transparency in relation to hi-rez. But I think hi-rez is trying to do a pretty good job on that aspect.
Yeah. It's a point of trying and being a small company, and you got thousands of people playing.
That's the same thing as playing the game, where I'm trying to be good, but you keep walking into the lane, you keep running in front of Sobek, and he keeps flinging you into fucking Cupid. Eventually, you have to realize, stay at the goddamn tower. Okay, the same thing goes for game development. If your people are still getting pissed week after week, change something. They have Sooner doing all their podcasts. Hire Sooner. I don't even like that guy. Give him a bunch of money. Hire him. Tell him to type on the forums all day and be like, hey, guys, hi-rez wants to do this. Hey, guys, hi-rez wants to do this. Go on the stream. Hey, guys, hi-rez is doing this today. But no, by the way, guys, 3 hours coming up. We're not resetting ranked. And Shing's still #1, even though he leaves every game. Shout out to Shing, #1. The juice, godlike. And you 2 consumables. Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah,
but don't you can't play Ares in rank, but everyone have as many wards and as many pots as you want in level 1.
Well, with what Dmbrandon said, it is kind of weird because it's supposed to be a beta, and they're telling this we're still in closed beta, but you have those changes coming out with no warning. And it'd be nice if, like Lionheart said, there'd be one place like a week before the patch, just have one giant post in the patch notes form, being like, here are all the changes we're thinking. Give input.
Yeah.
And it'd be really transparent to like see all the changes a week before, talk about it, and then like see how they change it going to the patch. Just having something, anything to make it feel more beta-like if they're really treating this as a beta.
So what you would probably need to do is actually get some community volunteers, because the biggest problem you would have with something like that is the manpower problem of being able to read hundreds of posts, you know, or thousands of posts, depending on how many people figure this out, and they're like, holy crap, I can complain here. You can imagine how large that thread's going to get. So they're going to need people to help them filter through all the stuff and be like, this is crap, oh, this is a good idea, this is, you know, people complaining, and, you know, here's where you have an actual suggestion, you know. That's the biggest problem. So that's
All right,
that.
so, yep. Does anybody else want to say anything on that topic before we head off to the next one?
Are we still talking about the patch?
We can.
If you would like to.
Yeah. If you have anything else to add, I'm all ears, sir.
The new Sobek skin is
Yes.
amazing.
Yes, the new Sobek skin. It's great. I like his little like twitch he has in his hand when he's holding the gun. He's like, like that. But I will say, we data mined a while ago, a long while ago, a lot of the new skins that were coming up in Smite, and the Pirate Sobek was one of them. Although the Pirate Sobek we found was vastly different from this Pirate Sobek. It was more like Deckhand Pirate Sobek versus Captain Pirate Sobek. Drastically different. My personal feeling, I'd rather have had both. So you could go, you know,
Yeah,
Pirate
both.
King or Swashbuckler, you know, whatever. But I was really happy to see that they're getting skins for all the gods. I'm
Yeah.
a big fan.
I actually have one comment for the whole. It's more to the high-res topic. I also think sometimes when they're trying to fix something that they think is OP, like the Frostbound Hammer or what, and also so every time they nerf an item, they nerf it so much that nobody wants to buy it anymore. Like the Frostbound Hammer wasn't really used in high-level play because you know how to coordinate your CC. It was more like I guess a solo queue item or a normal game item. But everybody thought it was OP, so of course they nerfed it to hell, like made it so expensive and nerfed the slow so much, like now nobody buys it, I guess. They killed the item.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the, it's
Going
almost
totally overboard. Also when they nerfed the mystical mark, it's like they removed 25% of the damage and made it like, what was it, 20% more expensive? That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go a little overboard sometimes when they nerf or buff things. So, see, what they need to do is take what they want to do and then cut that in half, and then maybe cut that in a third, and then do it.
Yeah, but it's like if you can make big meta changes from between 14 days, but you cannot like make small adjustments to items over that time. It's like I don't get the logic sometimes.
Yeah.
They're American though, so I don't
yeah, that happens. Us Americans, you know,
Yeah.
we're crazy and insane.
We love to go over the top and then under the bridge.
And yep, those bridges.
Those
We go
damn
under
bridges.
them. Like water.
Yes.
Water under the
Flying
bridge.
helicopters.
That's us.
I'm actually good at a game called Bridget, by the way.
Yeah, we've seen that in chat lately. Yeah, like flying helicopters upside down under bridges back in the Battlefield days.
Yes. Yes. Good times. Good times.
Yeah.
All right. Does anyone else have anything they wanted to say about the patch?
We want to move on to the WOGL Season 1.
But in between that, Demon, tell them about our.
Oh, if you would like, we want to ask all of these pros about a god and how they would build him and how they would play him in a particular game. So we want you guys to tell us what god we should ask them about. So please just, I guess, post in chat the name of the god. We have a gentleman there ready to tally up the marks. And then once we figure out which one we will post it to these guys, and hopefully they play him.
Yeah. So you can get a fresh build right from here. Just post in chat what god you want the pros to tell you how to play. I wouldn't always necessarily take their advice, but it might be good. So, you'll have to see. All right. So we are ready on that. So on to.
All right. So we're bringing on now Mr. Lolcoop, who is in charge of the Smite end of the WOGL. Thank you for doing that in stereo. And now joining us is Mr. Cooper. Would you like to exactly tell us what WOGL has in store for Smite?
Oh, you guys can hear me fine?
Yes,
Oh,
we can.
Who?
You
Okay,
sound
great.
stellar.
Awesome. Well, we're running a Season 1 tournament. Well, I don't want to say tournament. We're running a season, which will basically be an 8-week season. It's going to consist of however many teams we have sign up at the time, but it's going to be separated into divisions, and those divisions are going to play weekly against a different team. And every week they're going to schedule each other's matches. Well, not each other's. They're going to schedule the matches against each other, play those matches at the end of the week, report them, the score, and then the next week you'll move on to a next match. So it's a longer session of play for all the teams, and it's going to open up to a lot more competitive play, because now the teams actually have to say, okay, you're going to know who you're playing beforehand. So you can say, okay, this week we're playing, our biggest rival. We always get beat by them. What can we do to prepare? And it's going to open up to a lot more competitive play.
Cool. So, do you guys have prizes in store that you wanted to that you're talking about yet?
Yeah, we have a lot of things announced. We have a couple great sponsors. We have gaming jerseys as one. We're partnered with Shoutcast This as a media partner, and then we have Zowie, which is announced today.
What is Zowie?
Zowie is a gaming gear company. They sell mice, headsets, mouse pads, keyboards, certain things like that. They're actually a great company. On the main page for the tournament, for the season, you can go ahead and click the prize tab, and it'll show everything. But as a basic rundown, first place would be $750 cash and 5 custom team jerseys. The second place is going to be $100 cash and 5 Zowie Myco mice, which is just a certain brand of mice that they sell. And third place is going to be $100 cash. We're also giving away a couple things during the season, which can be found again on the website. But we're excited with the prizes that we have. So, and that website's www.wogl.org.
Cool. Well, that sounds like fun. What do you guys think? Do you have any questions for our tournament?
Yes, since
our
several of your
season guy here?
teams are signed up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any team not signed up for it?
Yeah.
All right then.
All right. Well,
So who's going to win that chunk of cash?
Guys, you can answer. Feel free.
Anyone?
That's your cue, Brandon.
That was just laid out.
I
I
was
was
going
waiting
to
for
tell
it.
them that I'm going to win it anyway. Go for it.
I was laying out the red carpet for you, but you didn't walk down it. I was disappointed.
Oh. It's okay.
I actually have no idea who's going to win this. I think there's a lot of really good teams in this tournament. I mean, I
is
cast
NA
it.
fighting EU?
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
it's the same, I think.
Well, when it comes down to NA versus EU, a lot of the times it comes down to which server we're on.
This is
It
true.
really sucks. Like the last 2 times we fought ESG, every time we were on American servers, we won. Every time we were on Europe servers, they won. Every single time. And that sucks. And until there's a way for us to get around that, and I don't think there ever will be, it's going to be hard to call who will win between North America and Europe, especially when the teams are so even. In terms of North America, BLG has some lineup changes, in my opinion, to make before they're going to be competitive enough. I'd like to see Glitch drop 1 or 2 and pick up some of the stragglers. And then I know Reason is talking about making some changes from what I've heard in the woodwork. But the changes that they were talking about making would make them really strong. As of right now, I'd say Reason's the only people that have a chance of beating us. In America, at least.
Fair enough.
Can I add something to the server stuff?
Absolutely.
We played like 2 matches against ESG, and we were on the NA servers every time, even though all 10 players were from EU.
Yeah.
That's since the spectating feature was introduced. That's really sucky because we have like a 200 ping every time.
Yeah, I noticed that. There have been times that, playing 10-on-10 NA teams, we've been on the EU servers for some obnoxious
Try
reason.
play so big with ping 250, man. You're gonna land a charge. You have no idea what you're hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with any AD.
It's like you charge his animation, but it's like you go through him.
So, if you guys could request another thing for this next patch, would it be being able to choose server regions?
No, actually not, because I think the amount of really good players or players I want to face is so small. So if you divide that into 2,
Yeah, that's true.
it will be very limited how fun games will be.
It'll basically divide the community in half, because then suddenly half.
I don't think it's big enough yet. I think
That's a fair point.
at least like if you split the top 200 list or the top 50 list in 2, that would be really sad.
No, I agree. And I think it's just one of those things that the community has to deal with while the game's in beta, and maybe when the game launches, there'll be more teams on each region, and then you'll finally be able to separate that out.
More
But
servers.
at the same time, the prizes. I mean, thank God there's cash money coming out for the players to try and fight over. But in retrospect, I mean, it's a relatively small amount right now. Where like, yeah, of course you want to win it, but if you don't win it, and it's because of latency issues, it's going to be a much smaller deal now than in a couple months. When the cash prizes start to increase, and it's really a substantial sum of money that you're losing to this kind of complication. And I think that by that time, hopefully there'll be more teams, and you'll be able to see kind of a division where there's EU teams out and NAA teams out. And if hi-rez, is planning on sinking the kind of money that Riot Games sunk in esports, which is the whole reason why League of Legends exploded in the first place.
Yeah.
If they're really starting to invest in esports and they're willing to put the money into tournaments and get stuff where you guys can fly out to get that EU-NA rivalry, then, and again, this is stuff that's way in the future. I don't think you're going to see any of this until the game actually launches, and the game's not going to launch for at least 2 to 3 more months.
Yeah.
But when it does launch, I think that's when finally you won't have to put up with these complications, and in the meantime you just kind of try and brush it off and cross your fingers that you get the server on your side, I guess, or maybe adjust the the gods that you're playing if you don't, if you know that you can't land Sobek hooks at 250 ping, try and find a comp that doesn't require Sobek. I mean,
Yeah, but it's unfortunately you
yeah,
can't
but
figure
it's
that out
like,
until you get in the game.
If I hit an East Coast server, I get like ping 180 and it's kind of okay. I can play with that and just do it. But if I hit a West Coast, I have 250 ping. Or
yeah, and I guess
like
the hard part is
it's not compensating really well.
Well, right. And I guess the hard part is that I didn't highlight there. I guess I'm going to go ahead and take my own advice back there, is the fact that you don't actually know what server you're going to be on until you get in the game. So
Yeah, that's what I
kind
was going to say.
biting my own tongue there, I guess.
Cool. Well, does anybody else have any more questions for Mr. Cooper about the WOGL?
If not, I did want to bring up a couple points, just talk on.
Sure,
Yeah, go for it.
As far as the format goes, about EU and NA, we have to adapt because we're running a season for a beta tournament. We have to adapt to, especially since it's a MOBA, which brings in a whole different thing. They patch weekly or bi-weekly. So we have to, if they suddenly decide mid-season to release draft mode, we have to be willing to change and include that mode into our rule set. So the way it's set up right now is EU and NA are going to be separated during regular season, and that's because we want to start getting into separation, and hopefully there's enough teams to do that, and we want to give the time schedule and the server latency problem a little bit of a break. And then in playoff time, we're going to bring them back together because top teams are in EU, and we want to see that competitive area clash. Unfortunately, we don't have control over the servers. So hopefully once, like Lion said, once the prize starts increasing, which we do plan on doing every season,
Right.
That'll be implemented, so it won't be a problem. The only second thing that I want to touch upon is that we've been getting a lot of comments on that the prize pot's a little small. You have to remember that, beta, not beta, open beta, closed beta, retail game with a certain number of people in it, whatever you want to call it, there's no competition right now at the caliber we're at. We're opening up to having the prizes that we have right now, and no one else is really at that level yet. So we're hoping that it'll be a success, and we're going to increase it every season. So if it feels like it's not enough right now, remember we're trying, we're going to improve for you guys, and then every season after that we're going to get better and better. So we value your feedback, and anything you can provide, just go ahead and give it to us.
Yeah, and I mean, there's also another couple of reasons, which is return on investment. If you're going to dump almost $1,000 into this tournament, you want to try and make it back, because I mean, not many people have just $1,000 laying around that are just like, whatever. And so, you want to try and make it back with page views or video views or sponsorships, and the community is not large enough yet to where you can get that kind of return on investment, because there's just not that many people surfing the pages doing all this other different stuff. So you have to start off with small prize pools. If you want the prize pools to get bigger, bring in your friends and get them to play. That's how you do it. If we can, have the average player base be 1 million players, the prize pools will go up significantly. I can guarantee you that. Because they know that if they make a website or they do a tournament, then they're going to get, 100,000 hits a day kind of thing. That's a big difference. So don't
Right.
just complain because it's a small community and we have small prizes. That's what's going to happen. Anybody else have any comments on that kind of thing?
I just have to thank companies like WOGL and ESN for running like these weekly tournaments, and now the season coming out, because it's a good way to grow the base of like the competitive scene and like people who want to watch streaming and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good for the community.
Yeah, it is. It's very nice that you're doing it so early too in beta, which
Mm-hmm.
nobody would blame you if you said no, because there's so much changing all the time. You never know what the hell's going to happen, but we got to start sometime, and if we want to make it an esport, we got to try. Start now.
It's also interesting, you know, some people, you said, were complaining about the prize pool. I think people forget that you are the first, you know, organization to actually give
Money.
cash prize in a tournament. So I think that that's something that's important for people to remember. And I know that I think most of the people in the competitive community are really grateful that you guys are hosting this tournament. So if there's any cash that can be won from playing Smite at all is really cool. You know, most of the monetary income from Smite is with a select few who have the ability to play advertisements on Twitch. But other than that, there's not really been any money in Smite. So I think this is a really great change for the community. And it's exciting for me because it gives me something to, you know, maybe unofficially cast and talk about, which is something that I've started recently doing, and I've had a blast doing that. So.
Everybody, let's give a round of applause for Lionheart's casting. It's awesome.
Yeah,
It's
you
actually
should-
amazing. I like going back and watching all the videos. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, he
Thank you,
is
thank
a
you.
very talented caster. You guys definitely check out his stuff, YouTube, and he has some really fun rants, which we won't go into right now because it would be awkward.
It was just a joke. It got out of hand. That shit's gonna haunt me forever.
Totally.
Yep. It's because it's the internet, bro.
Yeah. Everything's still fresh.
You know, it was like 3 a.m. I wasn't thinking.
All right, well, thank you for joining us, Cooper. I guess that wraps it up for us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Just again, website's www.wogl.org. Sign-ups close on the 19th, so go ahead and get your team started, and good luck to every team in it.
Yep. We will post that with the VOD link, of course. And thanks for being on. So, now's the fun part of the show. Are you guys ready to open the phones and have conversation? We do want to ask them, did we get a god that we selected everybody wish to talk about?
They are currently in polling phase, and let's see how it is doing right now. For the polls, we have several votes. It looks like right now Odin
is in the
Zeus, Ymir, and Guan Yu are the most requested by a fairly substantial margin. So, we'll give you a few more moments to vote on that. Click on that link in chat to vote, because, well, yeah, it'd be awesome. And
you know what? There's no logo on here on where to call us at.
no logo.
Or no
So you can
title.
call us up on Skype at perfect.rain if you have questions for any of these fine gentlemen here, including
Can
the
I? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just saying including the Lord of Darkness over on the right. So
Yes.
what were you saying, Lionheart?
Can I ask? I actually have a question while we're waiting. If I could ask the team captains, this is something I've been kind of curious about.
Yeah.
Kind of from the, I guess, competitive news side or whatever you might consider my casting. But I am a little bit curious if each leader, each person present could just maybe tell, you know, in like a minute, maybe 60 seconds, if you can do it in 60 seconds, kind of what you guys are doing to prepare for WOGL, because I am very curious what you guys are doing. I know all of you are in it to win it, so I'm curious what your plan is, kind of plan of attack without giving away strategies of what you plan to do to prepare for this tournament. And I don't know if maybe that's something we could do from one side to the other. Or
Yeah, so
how
I
you
guess-
guys want to do that.
Yuli, go first, and we'll go from left to right. Because that's how people
First
read.
of all, we're gonna pick Bakasura and then Fatalis, or Fatalis, or how to pronounce it in American.
Fatalis.
Then we're gonna stomp everyone, I guess. That's our plan.
Fuck you.
Or if we get a Sobek, I will go get them Ninja Tabbies.
Oh, okay.
And
You called it Ninja Tabby. Get out of here.
Over 9
One
one out of it.
time, and I won that game. Such an asshole.
No, I don't know. We're just gonna scrim ESG all week, and maybe the guys from haiCon, if they're stabilizing their team. There's not a lot going on in the EU side, I guess, and try to scrim the NA teams in the weekends. And
Cool.
that's kind of the best we can do.
Yeah, just practice.
Yeah, and try out the new champs and what we think that works. Pick up more. It's always hard. I need to practice that fucking Odin. My ults kill everybody every time. It's like, no, it's not really being proud of. So I need to practice that out then.
Nice. Good. Well, Brandon, what are you guys going to do?
Well, Harvest, Shing, and Allied play a lot of StarCraft,
Bum, bum, bum.
and they're useless. I complain about not playing normal games, and Jerb pretty much begs his viewers for pizza. That's pretty much our strategy right now.
So you'll
It's a good strategy.
eat
Very
pizza while playing
delicious.
in the tournament.
No, but really, recently we've won the 2 ESN tournaments, and the last one was a pretty strong showing. So a lot of teams are asking us to scrim, and we're doing our best. Like, we all have kind of like erratic schedules that we're on because Allied stays up to like 4 in the morning every night and then complains no one's on at 1. And then Shing is always yelling at his girlfriend, and they're always missing. And then Harvest is on 24 hours a day with Jerb, and then I'm at work. So whenever we get a chance to scrim people, we try. We actually had 3 scrims in a row last night,
Nice.
which was awesome. Without Allied, unfortunately,
Oh.
or without Jerb. Someone was missing. I don't know. I don't know who's on my team. And
Who are
no,
these
we
people?
did really well. So we're just gonna try to keep that up.
Cool.
Great. Good to hear.
Excellent. PonPonWeiWei.
We're trying to get more scrims going. It's really hard because we have 2 EU players, 1 in Argentina and then 2 in the United States. So
Ooh.
it's hard getting everyone together. But another
Yeah.
big thing we've been doing is practicing like what we're gonna pick, what we're gonna ban out. Because that first game against BLG.na that we had in the tournament in ESN, we got stomped hard, completely outpicked in every way, and we also made mistakes, and it snowballed out of control. So it became very apparent that we weren't good at banning and picking. So we were working on that, trying to improve that.
Mm-hmm. Very
That's
nice.
one of the big things.
Cool. Was there another big thing, or was that it?
It's pretty much also we need scrims.
Yeah.
It's hard getting everyone together and on.
Yeah, I can bet with that kind of time differential, that's going to be tricky.
Pretty much weekends
Mhm.
only.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Cool. Dradow, what do you in your dark cave? Do you guys all get there, light a torch, and then go run in with swords?
Suck blood.
Or do you sacrifice something in hopes of your next win?
We will just kill a chicken and hope it will devour his soul to our wins.
Might I suggest biting off the head of a bat?
Yeah, I hear that's good.
That's also good.
Yeah, but we prefer to eat the head of bats, you know. Yeah, but basically we will just aim for scrims with BLG.eu and esg. But on my part, my lane partner has no internet right now, so we have to wait to get his internet back. That's why we are playing with other people on my lane.
Ah. No.
No.
What are you asking
No.
me?
We have, so make sure to call us up on perfect.rain, or if you want us to call you or you have a question, you can just message
just
us or
add
call
us on
us,
Skype
add us
and-
on Skype.
Yep. It will work just perfect.rain because it works better that way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll change it to something useful later.
Yeah, maybe. I like that. Useful.
Well, you run it for so long this way, why change it? That's the only
Mhm.
problem.
So, while we wait for some people to call us up and make sure that, yep, we are good there.
Yeah, just
All
everybody
right.
on my regular Skype messaging me that I can't
Mhm.
change.
Yeah, so while we
Looks
are
like
waiting
Zeus.
for that, it looks like Zeus is going to be winning out. Wow.
Yep.
Yep.
Zeus ended
People-
up winning.
People are like, yes, we want Zeus. So,
Zeus.
Zeus. I was hoping it might be something like this. So,
Where's Shing? Where's Shing? He's playing Zeus.
We need Rock
What about
Demon.
Rock Demon? Yeah,
We need
Rock
Rock
Demon.
Demon.
When I started breaking that out, dude, Shing's a copycat.
Where's
Ouch.
Troll Rog?
Troll Rog.
He should
Get him
call
on
us.
here. We should bring him on here to tell us how, because he's the only Zeus that isn't garbage.
Ouch.
Like, everyone else who plays Zeus, including Shing, is garbage.
Yeah, I had
That's
to
a high
carry
bar you
Shing
have.
in a lane in solo queue, man, with my Odin.
Like, Rog actually picks him in ranked, and you have to go, like, you actually have to play. It sucks.
You have
he
to
kills
try.
You.
Great. All right, so we're going to start with you, Dradow. If you were going to pick Zeus, what would you build?
And how would you play him?
Yes, more specifically. All right, 30 to 60 to 180
Sum
seconds. Go.
it up in a minute. What would you build and how would you run him? If you
Forward.
had to play Zeus in a game.
Mhm.
Assume that you had
I
the
would-
perfect team comp around you of what you would like.
Creeping Curse, Fatalis, of course,
Of course.
and any AP damage, and
Simic
of course,
game.
Polynomicon. Of course. No, Fatalis is really nice on him,
Mm.
even though it's a troll build, but I really like it. And Creeping Curse is a must-have, I guess, on Zeus. just for his ult. Until you get a gem of isolation. The only thing is if you have anyone on your lane that has the creeping cost already, you don't need it.
That's a good point. Okay. Does that sum it up for you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. PonPon, I guess you'll go next. Wait.
Yeah, I agree. You definitely need in your lane a creeping curse. That's probably a really big thing, and as well as Spear of the Magus being completely broken at the moment. It'll help you survive in lane. Like if you get picked, you probably won't die with Spear. You can actually turn that around and like 3-proc someone with your detonate. And I kind of like a tankier build on him, like getting a void gem, spear, reinforced boots. Pretty much like the standard caster build that you would go on a lot of gods. So
who would be the ultimate laning partner? Would it just be, of course, Odin, or would you pick somebody else?
Yeah, Odin or anyone with hard CC so that you can get the 3 stacks up.
Okay.
Emir's nice.
Yeah, Ymir will work.
Yeah, Ymir. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Brandon, what is your opinion?
Well, we actually ran Zeus in a few of our tournament matches when DFAT was still playing with us. And we ran Odin Zeus. And we did really well because people, originally it was gimmick. So what we found out was, even though it was garbage back then, it's a lot better now, but it's still kind of not a good idea. But Girdle of Might at level 1 on Zeus is outrageous. because it's giving him 30 attack damage, and you need to get those stacks up, and then it's giving him extra 1-to-1 scaling magic damage. So if you have Odin that jumps in and slows with his 3, so you're going to take a little bit of damage. You're guaranteed to get hit by at least 2 auto attacks from Odin. You get 3 auto attacks with Girdle of Might on from Zeus, so there's at least 150 to 200 damage, and then dead, guaranteed. If you get slowed by Odin and Girdle of Might level 1 Zeus, you are dead, guaranteed, every game. So Girdle of Might, if you're going to play Zeus, I'd say get Girdle of Might and invade. Like, you just can't. A lot of people think because he doesn't have hard CC and he doesn't have a really good escape mechanic besides his shield that you should be played passively. Like, you need to be a fucking man. Like, if you play Zeus, like, you're on cloud 9, nothing can bother you. You need to go in. Doesn't matter what you build, just go in. Be a man.
Ult on top of yourself.
The best ult.
Go ahead, Yuli. Yuli.
So is my turn?
Yes.
If I play Zeus, I max the Q because I cannot hit my auto attack, so I hit the creep. So I kind of bounce around and hit the enemy. And then I get this like OP item everybody buys, Spear of the Magus. I don't play caster, so pick this shit up, and then the Void Stone, the Magic Boots, just tons of damage, and just shit thunder, like being awesome. That's basically my plan, and then hit the Q. Something hit Q with something, so jumps over to the guy you want to kill, then bring out the storm.
Cool.
All right.
Lionheart, do you have an opinion on this matter?
Oh, just one moment. Fuck you, Young Bay, for taking my pentakill, bro.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Well said.
But
sir.
he's
Well
sorry, just a side note, but he's a good guy. He ruined my pentakill last time I was Zeus. I basically 1 versus 5'd a random team, and he comes in and helps with acne. Take the last guy out. Scumbag.
Wow. All right, Lionheart, go ahead if Matt can contain himself here.
I mean, I don't play Zeus. Spear of the Magus. That item's 1850. It's cheaper than Heartseeker. Get that. The damage is ridiculous. Probably just run around with Spear of the Magus for half the game and get a lot of kills, not buy anything else, then go back and buy a whole bunch of stuff whenever you're ready. But I mean, again, dude, I don't play Zeus. I would lane him with Odin or Hades, just for that CC ultimate at level 5, and then just I don't know, dude. I only play AD Rome. I can't tell you anything about Zeus. I'd probably build Zeus like an AD, just for the lulz.
It's been done before. Remember AD Raw? I mean, come on now.
Have you guys heard about AD Hell?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Dude, my AD Hell is so serious.
Yeah, the switch stands for the double auto attack.
Hell, dude,
Yeah.
The first time I played Hell and I figured out that I could do that, I'm like, I'm gonna build this bitch AD. And Harvest yelled at me for so long. He's like, no, you're wasting our time. And Harvest has still to this day never seen my AD Hell go negative. It's like 3 games. I'll never play her again.
Well, all right. we have
Heartseeker.
Heartseeker. Yeah, absolutely.
Is Harvey playing Anubis mid?
Yeah, right. Yelling at the
Fuck
speed
that
to do
Anubis,
it.
man. Anubis, like, Harvest Master Anubis is like the game thrower #1. Holy fuck, I can't with that shit.
Yes, everybody
Somebody
hates on
drop the
Harvest. I love it.
Nice.
I like Harvey.
All right. While we are getting ready for our last segment, we have some questions.
Yes, we do.
From our watcher people.
Yes, we have
You
callers that would like to
guys.
ask questions. So, let's see. We will get
Vocabulary.
and person on and phone first.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have Jerby with us. What would you like to ask them, Sir Jerby?
Yes, Jeremy.
Yeah, this is for Dungeon Master Brandon. I was actually looking at the Dungeon Master's rulebook, and I was wondering if my
Okay.
+3 longsword affected Dradow with the vampire subtype.
No, yeah. What happens is he tried to attack someone with stone skin, and man, I don't know. I tried.
You tried. You failed.
That's
I'm
as far
sorry.
as I got. I remember stone skin from an episode of like Family Guy or Futurama or something, and I just lost it.
You must cast magic missile in the darkness.
Magic missile into the darkness.
Venture Brothers. It was fucking Venture Brothers.
Yes. Venture Brothers. So, Jerby, do you have an actual question?
Yeah. So, do you guys think that Spear is going to be nerfed or not?
Oh, that was Gerbcraft? I thought that was Lionheart.
Nope, that's
Nope.
Jerby.
That's Jerby.
He's on my team, too. That's bad.
Don't nerf it.
Who is this
You
guy?
can see me talking, Dio. I can talk to you without moving my lips. I'm a ventriloquist. You didn't know.
And without making your Skype blip either.
Yeah, you are that good, sir.
You already know.
All right, so
Spear of the Magus.
Spear of the Magus. Is it being nerfed?
Well, it's hi-rez. They're probably going to buff it tomorrow.
And
You
then
need, you need to have 600 health and a stun that procs randomly at 20%. Like circlet. Then it's right there, man.
all right.
I actually was surprised it wasn't nerfed this patch, to be honest.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
said something about that to them on
Well,
the
To be fair, I mean, they had to make, 3 skins and milk us for money instead of balancing the game, so come on, relax.
hey,
everybody.
they got to make money first, though, or else they don't make
It's
a game.
1,850 gold. That's a lot of gold in the grand scheme of things. Like, how much gold do you have right now? I don't have any gold.
I don't know. It
A
depends
little gold.
Depends on where I look.
If you look at the last match we played against ESG in the ESN finals,
Yes, I did.
we run the Spear of the Magus on our Hades, we run it on our Guan, we run it on our mid lane. Actually, 3 people picking up that item. That's how good it is.
I mean, it's like common sense, right? When every caster in the game is getting it, it's probably too good. Like,
When you
Yeah.
run it on your tank,
That's
you
just
run
like
it
what-
on support, you're running on your mid. It's like crazy.
but before that item came out, like casters had different builds. Like there were some casters who built the same way, but there were different builds for different casters. Now that item is on every single caster. If it's good enough where everybody's buying it, it's probably too good.
How
They
is
will
it? Like,
probably increase the gold cost, I guess, and just nerf it into eternity, just like with the Frostbound Hammer.
Mystical Mark.
Yeah.
I
One of
mean,
the big
when's
things
the
you
last
can
time
do.
we've seen people really building Mystical Mark anymore after that nerf? Because, like, hi-rez has this problem. It's like when you go into the shower, right, and you have your hot water and your cold water, and it's way too cold, so you turn up the
Wait,
hot
wait,
water
wait,
too much,
where's
and then
this
you burn
from?
yourself. Like, they don't, like, gently turn the knobs. They just fucking twist the hot water until there's just scalding boils all over their body.
Wait, are you talking about water or sunlight?
Serious shower parties,
okay.
man.
No, that's not his shower. He doesn't. He bathes in sunlight.
yep.
Right.
Yeah. That vampire.
They don't have showers at Jervis Trailer Park, I think. That's all up. It's love. Sorry.
Thanks
Wow.
for calling, sure.
Hey, you're welcome, guys. Thank you so much for answering the question. I was so curious about it. Very informative as ever.
No
Still need a ruling. Thanks.
Sir.
Later, man. Wow. All right. Let's see. We have a
Alright.
question from. I'm guessing this is Allied.
Can you guys get some more of my teammates who are going to call and troll me?
Hey, they feel the need to troll you. So
Hey, they're your
Go ahead.
teammates.
if he answers the phone, which he may not, doesn't look like he will.
Sad panda.
That's all right. So what we did want to do was our little play of the week.
Yes, we had our guys look around for some good plays in various matches, and
This is
for
gonna be
next
interesting
week,
to squeeze it in here.
we want you guys to send us videos of really epic plays, to some degrry, and hopefully tell us
some
where
degree.
they are in the video.
Yeah.
If it's an hour-long video, please let us know. So otherwise, it's just not going to happen. So we will bring that up for you, and while
Yes, we'll even let you hear, Sir. Where did it go? Oh, there it is.
That's right.
We will
Oh.
even let you hear
Oh.
Lionheart's lovely commentary. That
Oh,
went with
yes,
it,
yes.
because it is one of his games that he casted. So
Oh, nice.
here's, I guess we'll figure it out at some point.
Yeah, I haven't.
What
seen
is the
it
epic
either.
time? Because we hadn't watched it yet. So this is news to everybody. Are you ready? We're ready. 3, 2, 1. Hold on. I have to change my input. to
Oh,
be
I think
proper.
I know what this is.
All right.
Wrong one.
No,
That one.
All right, there we go.
2 times before it can silence. When the first hit comes down, Cupid can dash out of range of Guan Yu's ultimate, and then it actually ends up wasting Guan Yu's ultimate completely. So that's the explanation for why Guan Yu was holding his ultimate there, in case you weren't already aware of that. And now you can see a wall off going down onto this Ra. Ra is caught out of position. That's a great wall coming down by Ymir. You're going to see him aegis the Ymir ultimate. That's really good. But unfortunately, they're both still getting really, really low. Actually able to pick up the best in that team fight. So they kill the Cupid player despite how low the members of Girth were getting there, and they're able to get out. You can see that Wukong is chasing, but he's he doesn't really have enough to kill anybody. So he's going to go turn around just to kind of start auto-attacking. But I think they're going to get out of this, and you're going to see, yep, sure enough, Girth is going to be able to pick up one free kill there and kind of turn it. It looked like at the initial start, BLG was on top of that. It looked like BLG was going to win that engagement for sure, maybe pick up a double kill. But a good Aegis coming out by the Ra and some good kiting there to go ahead and end up picking up the Cupid and making it a 1-for-none trade in favor of Girth. They needed that. They have kind of closed the gap to about 1,700. That's a little less than 2K. Of course, one kill not worth that much gold, but everything, you know, in a step in the right direction. Maybe, if anything, just to get their momentum started and to get them kind of fired up for this fight against BLG. You can see Hades coming out there and kind of clearing that.
All right. So I guess that was it.
Did somebody catch
Lionheart.
the ultimate part of that?
Yeah. Tell us about that. Since
Do you remember
you were
that?
there, you were there.
or maybe
I heard you talk, so I know you were there.
I was there.
It's like
or
I
maybe
was
PonPon
there.
was there.
Yeah.
I think there were so many plays that went down there. Yeah, I didn't know that I was gonna get asked. I was just kind of spacing out watching it, like, oh, that's a nice Aegis. Oh, look at that.
I'm surprised it wasn't the suicide diving the Minotaur at the end of that game.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah,
really
that was-
wasn't the play.
That was like the last ESN.
Yeah,
That
it
was like almost 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? Though.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks
a week
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
Was it 2 weeks ago?
No, it was last week. It was this last week.
Last week.
It was last weekend. But that was at like the. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I shoutcasted for like 10 hours that day or something, dude. My brain's fried.
Here-
I wish I could give you a detailed explanation. I feel bad.
All right.
Here's-
Since you can't, we're gonna bring you another one.
Yeah, we're gonna
All
bring you
right,
one that is also recommended to us
Yeah. We are just
by
that good.
someone here who can explain it when it happens.
Really?
I would hope so.
Oh. Explanation.
Be the counter initiate that's going to take it down. Is Monkey going to make it out? No, he's not. Roman ranged are too strong, and you're going to see a 1-for-1 trade going on here. They're still going to keep on fighting. This is a bad fight for Guan Yu. Guan Yu needs to get out. Those archers are going to absolutely melt him. He needs to run, and there he goes. And hopefully, if this Ymir doesn't have enough for a wall, he will make it out. Let's take a look at it from Ymir's perspective. He's chasing for it. Nope, has enough for the wall. Didn't get a full block, though. Guan Yu was actually able to get through, and so he decides to go ahead and abandon that. Guan Yu now coming in for the dash. Is Guan Yu going to be able to take him? He misses. He misses the... Oh my gosh, he misses the freeze. Panicking because he sees Guan Yu coming in, and he ends up dying.
Nice.
That was nice. So the
yes.
the one health Guan Yu comes in and kills. Ymir.
Yes.
That is not a nobody. That's allied for Team Juice.
Oh.
So who was playing that Guan Yu is the question.
Oh, it's an unknown talent, but he's really good, as I can see.
Ah.
I stumped a guy named Allied. I played him totally because he missed the freeze.
answer.
And he just has to sit in the chat and hold that. Like, I love it.
It's great because that specific play I actually remember very, very well. And
Yeah,
I remember seeing that and thinking, oh my gosh.
I think I might have actually seen that live as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's fucking man mode. Like you're popping a pot and you're going back into the fight.
Man it up, man.
Yep.
Hey, there's a cat.
There is.
Yeah, I have a cat on me right now.
Oh, it's on your. I mean, we have cats all over here, so I wouldn't be surprised if it
All
was
right.
definitely.
If
So,
you-
let's continue on.
Yeah, if
Wrap this
you
up
guys don't have any other question for our awesome pro panel here of pro people.
I did want to ask the last topic I really wanted to know was what do you guys think of the future of Smite in esports? Like what do you think that, judging from the amount of tournaments there have been already, I mean, we've had like 4 or 5, somewhere around there, 4 or 5, I can't remember how many exactly tournaments we've had, and it's still in beta, and we're still having tournaments. We have the Season 1 with WOGL going on with prize money. It's still in beta. You know, all this stuff's going on for people trying to push it in esport. Do you guys think it will succeed, and do you think if we keep pushing it, it'll work? Lionheart, go first, and then we'll just work our way over.
I think Smite definitely has a future as an esport. I think that it speaks wonders for the game, that people really enjoy watching it, really enjoy playing it when you have cash prize tournaments going on when the game's not even released yet. I think that's a really big deal. I think that League of Legends has done a great job of sort of paving the way for mass interest in the MOBA genre. And what we're seeing right now with League of Legends, as popular as it is the learning curve for that game is starting to get pretty high because they keep on adding new champions all the time. And so eventually what's going to happen is it's going to hit a wall similar to what Dota hit, where it's just difficult for new players to pick up. They're going to try, they're going to suck, they're going to move on. Because it's just the time investment to pick something up with that much content in the game is a pretty big one. As where Smite is still in the early phases, certainly it's easier to pick up. I mean, everybody's going to have different skill levels. Everybody's going to be at different levels of talent and competitiveness or casualness, if you will, with this game. But I think that it has a very bright future. I think that for it to succeed in esports, and I kind of hinted at this earlier, hi-rez needs to put more money into the esports scene. I think that maybe you're starting to see that with the kind of daily streams that they're doing with Bart, and you can see they've been supporting some of the casting. They've been supporting some of the tournaments with giveaways, but I think they need to do more. I think they really need to get in touch with the competitive side of the community. I think they need to start reaching out to members of the community and getting them more involved in esports. You know, they reached out to me once to have me cast with Bart. This week they had Sooner doing some casting, and I think that's good. They need to do stuff like that, and they need to cover the tournaments officially. And in a more organized fashion a little bit too. This last weekend with ESN, you know, Sooner had to go early because of real life things, but like he was in there casting and modding by himself. He didn't really have the support. hi-rez needs to give that support. They need to put money down for teams to win, and they really need to kind of push into esports, and that's how this will succeed. They need to just throw money at it. That's what League of Legends did, and it worked. Just throw money at it and just make tournaments, make your own coverage, and just essentially create an esport out of nothing. And then more players will come from other genres, from other MOBAs. You know, there's players who aspire to be professional League of Legends or Dota players, but they got in too late. They're never going to make it. You're never going to get into League of Legends and beat teams like CLG or TSM who've been playing since the very beginning and are extremely organized. So those players are just dying to try and break into the competitive scene, and Smite can be the game for them. I mean, there's already players here, great players, great teams like Juice, like RG, like BLG, like ESG. That,
Notice that he put us first.
No.
Hey, just continue. Go ahead. We're going to move forward amicably.
There's great teams out there that are doing really well already, that are very competitive. There's new teams, you know, like Girth or Glitch or whatever they name themselves, that are coming up that are also going to be, I think, very competitive. And I think that, you know, when everybody gets together and then more people start coming in, that it could explode. But the key is going to be hi-rez. It's not going to be the players. We can play the hell out of this game as much as we want. hi-rez has to throw the money at it and make the tournaments and make it profitable for people to invest this kind of time, because let's face it, there's only going to be so much time that people are going to be willing to spend 10, 12 hours a day like they're doing now into a game. There's only so long you can do that before you need to start making money.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents on it.
Your parents will only let you live at home so long.
Exactly. In the basement.
Yep.
Yeah.
In a basement.
Yuli, what do you think?
I think the game definitely has potential, and there's a lot of good things. I know it's been sounding kind of negative and all about hi-rez and what they're doing wrong, but also they're doing a lot of things right. But the only thing they need to be really careful about is really look into the champions and how powerful they are, and also their items. Because it's kind of the core of the game. Like, you had Dota where the issue was like, if you didn't like to get stun locked for 6 seconds, Dota wasn't your game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, because it gets me a little worried what they did to the Frostbound and everything. Like, they nerfed the shit out of everything to make sure people don't buy it at all, and they don't see why a champion is that strong, because he's not winning or losing more than he should, and so on. So it's like they need to counsel a few people. I don't know.
Yeah,
But they need to be like really a focus on this, because if they get this right, the game will be really, really great.
Yeah,
Cool.
I agree.
So continuing on, Brandon, what is your opinion? How will Smite do in an esport?
Well, I actually agree with, as painful as to say it, most of what Lionheart said, especially the part about which teams are good, especially the order they put them in. But I want to focus on something else, and a lot of people aren't paying attention to this, and it annoys me, because when I first saw Smite, like let's say 2 months before I saw it, everybody started playing it, it was so ugly. And just from a distance, from like not ever playing the game, I thought to myself, there's no reason that I'm going to play it with this quality of graphics. Because despite what people think, graphics are a huge part of immersion.
Sure, absolutely.
Now, when we think about the esports that have been popular in the past, think Halo, StarCraft, League of Legends, World of Warcraft, they all have one thing in common, and that's they've basically led the graphical content. Now, while League might not be the most graphically impressive game out, it certainly has the most character. It's colorful, it's bright, it's easy to recognize every character. There's a lot of just character to the game. Same thing for World of Warcraft, same thing for Halo. Now, when you look at Smite, from a third-party perspective, you see Smite and you like, the models are kind of crappy, the textures are a little weird, there's no DirectX 11, the motion blur is not there, the game doesn't look good. I don't want to watch it. I got the Smite beta randomly. I played it and I fell in love, and I'm doing my best to try to get everyone that I know to play the game. But if I never got that random beta invite, I probably would have sat in my house going, that game looks like shit, why the hell would I play it? So I would like to see graphic updates. I would like to see more character added to the game. I'm talking about textures, like what they did with the spiders and what we, apparently from the data mines, what they'll do with the pumpkins for Halloween. I would like to see more things like added that way. I want to see the game look pretty. I want people to look at it and go, holy shit, that game looks godlike. Because right now you go, holy shit, this game looks stupid. And I get a lot of that from the people on my friends list on Facebook. And like they're all like, why would I watch this if I could play League? League looks so much better. I know League. There's no reason for me to switch. They have to give all these people that are sitting in their houses going, fuck Smite, I don't even know what that is. They need to give them a reason to switch over, because until they give the people who aren't playing the game a reason to switch, they're not. I mean, we're gonna stalemate. It's gonna completely stagnate the player base, just like a lot of the fighting games have.
Yeah,
that's a shame. That's a really big shame.
Interesting. All right. Pom.
I've been around I played Demigod back when it was first coming out, and it had a decent amount of hype behind it, and it failed miserably because Stardock was a terrible company. And hi-rez, the stuff they've done a lot of good things, but at the same time they're doing some of the same things that they've done, where some of their patches don't make sense of how they're changing things, or they're not in touch with their player base. And hi-rez is much better than they are, but I don't want to see them go down that path. And I know like everyone here is like criticized hi-rez over some things, like Dmbrandon made it very clear that he thinks they're doing a lot of things wrong. But we're saying that because we want to see this game succeed, and we think this game has potential to succeed. And so that's why we're being so harsh on it. But they need to take the criticism, and they need to work towards making it a better product. Because it's a fun game, otherwise we wouldn't be playing it, but it could be so much better. And if it gets so much better, you'll just see people flock into it.
Yeah.
100%. Agreed.
Dradow, would you like to inform us from your cave?
Yeah, it's kind of awkward to add anything to this, because they pretty much said everything, but what I would like to see were those hidden passives, if you know them from League of Legends, where like all the snakes disappear from the map when Kaeyoh is in one of the teams, just like the spiders from the map should disappear when Arachne is one of the teams.
Interesting. So you're talking
I
about like
like it.
little tweaks that little aesthetic things that just kind of bring more character to the game.
Yeah, just help the immersion into the game.
Yeah.
I actually have one thing to add, like in extension of what Dradow said and Brandon said. If I use Thor ult and I come from 200 feet from the sky and I bash my shit down, why doesn't things explode? Like a boom or
Maybe
something.
a ground wave or something.
Like something awesome, something like action-packed. It doesn't have to like break trees or something like that, but kind of like you could use more effect when stuff goes on. There's a lot of ways we
particles, yeah.
Yeah, maybe get some more particle effects in there, kind of make it a little more flashy in general.
Yeah,
The
just like
screen should like shake
Sorry, go ahead,
when he
Dradow.
bursts down. When Thor bursts down, the screen should shake for all nearby players, for example. Or when Hades casts his ult, the whole heaven should get darker, like stuff like that. Or when Ra ults, the heaven should get brighter.
Oh, I see. Kind of like, say when, crap, I suddenly forgot his name from League. The Nightmare dude that, travels across the map.
Nocturne?
Yes, there we go, Nocturne. When he, casts his ult, suddenly it gets dark. That would be actually quite interesting if you would dim people's vision if, ult or Thor ulted or something like that. So you kind of have to run in circles or pray that you're in the right spot.
Or the music video they did where like they have like all the gods and just spotlights. That'd be really cool. Like you just have a spotlight on yourself and the entire map goes dark around you.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure hi-rez will watch this tomorrow. They seem to like to watch our show. So take these ideas and run.
Yeah, I mean they would add an immense amount of character to the game. They would bring great satisfaction. Like when you do stuff, you're actually impacting everything around you, not just like watching some.
So then I guess
die and explode.
We'll give a general broad view of that. You guys would like a little bit more immersion into the game, something to make you feel like you're really there doing it yourself.
Can I throw
Just
one
make,
more
just
thing?
make
in?
it pretty.
Make it pretty.
Yeah, go ahead, Lionheart.
like a flower.
Yes.
For, like, for the love of God, please add a draft mode. The game
Oh yes, draft.
really, really, really needs a draft mode, and I understand why it wasn't there originally because there wasn't enough gods, but there are now, and I think that there needs to be a draft mode in the game to help boost its competitive because, I mean, right now, like, the only way you're going to get that kind of an experience is if you participate in a tournament or a scrim. Mirror matchups are, I don't know, I don't see that being the future. They're lame, and I just think that it's a waste. At this point, you're like ranked games, like, what a waste. You have to play mirror matchups like,
Cupid,
I have Sobek Cupid on each side of the map. So this Sobek Cupid lane 1 and this other one won, and let's just see what happens middle. Like, it's just I don't know, dude. The draft mode needs to be implemented. Maybe bans. I don't know if it's too super bans or not, but definitely draft mode. And then at some point, and maybe it's too early now, but it would be nice if you could queue ranked more than once every hour.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or at least if I don't know. I mean, it's just too easy. Like, one person doesn't feel like playing that ranked game. Wait till the next hour. Maybe somebody else doesn't feel like playing. Wait
Do you
till the
mind
next
if I elaborate
hour.
on that?
No, go nuts.
Please, please. So today, Shing dodged, and that's not anything out of the ordinary. Shing dodges everything. Shing got a really crappy team. Shout out to whoever was on his team and how bad you are. Shing got a really crappy team, and Jerb was on the other team, and Shing dodged, and Jerb flipped out. He's calling him a scumbag. He's like, I hope you get banned. I don't care if we lose. Like, I hope you get banned. He's flipping out. And I'm thinking to myself, like, and I brought this up, I think it's crappy that he's mad at Shing, because Shing already got punished. Shing lost Elo for that. We should be getting mad at hi-rez, not Shing. So, like, yeah, it's crappy when people dodge your games because you have to wait for your queue. But in this case, he's mad because now he doesn't get to play ranked for an hour. And I understand that they're trying to balance it because beforehand, there weren't enough players playing where you would go into ranked and it would be you plus randoms versus someone plus randoms first to get fed wins. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but now we have a lot of people who are actually decent at the game. As of right now, ranked is the same 20 people broken up into 2 games every single hour. And it's boring. It's really boring. And they need to fix that. That's a priority. Like, just let us play ranked. Just let us do it.
So would you rather be paired up with the randoms more often then?
I hate ranked. I'm not going to do ranked anyway. But I only do ranked when Harvest and Shing make me do it on the hour.
Gotcha.
Because, like, they're like, 8 minutes to rank. Like, drop your joust and let's play. I'm like, fine, just whatever. We'll practice. Because they won't practice in normal. So that's how we get a lot of our practice. But, I mean, I would like to see the game progress as a whole because ranked matters to so many people.
Absolutely.
I mean, stating back just to Halo 2, like when people used to, threaten to kill people over the internet and then like mean it just because of how ranked goes. Like ranked is a big deal to a lot of people because a lot of people who live in like the middle of the country or in the ocean or like harvest on a houseboat in the middle of Canada, like there's no way you're going to get to a tournament unless you're on a team. And most people aren't going to get onto a team unless they're showing how good they are. And the only way to really do that is through ranked.
Yeah.
So I would like to see ranked fixed. That is a #1 priority.
Yeah, I agree.
Very true.
I was also playing some random games this past week, and I was telling people to check out the tournaments and the streams and all that, and they're like, why would I watch a tournament that doesn't have draft mode? And I'm like, well, they kind of do it manually.
Yeah.
And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah. It gives you an idea of, I mean, because he knew the game didn't have draft mode, he assumed that the tournaments didn't either. And if this guy that watches
random.
tournaments like for League and stuff just assumed that, there's got to be a whole bunch of other people that do that as
assume
well.
too. Yeah.
So I can't imagine it being that hard. Maybe it really is. I'm not sure. But I just think it'd bring a lot of more depth to the game because then you have the whole thing picks and bans and that whole extra depth to it. It'd be nice.
You know where hi-rez could put a lot of their news? They could put it right there at the front of the game.
It picks and bans news right beside it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they can just use the in-game client to label, put up some news that needs to be said, like, say, maybe ESN being played this weekend, and here's a little blip on what it is, or WOGL being played this weekend, like League of Legends does it. That's how you get your, communities to do more, because they'll do it if they know that hi-rez will support them also by simply putting up on their game, look, we do this, they're doing this.
They did in the launcher for ESN. They had a little blurb, but it could be much more public.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and that's the thing, right? I mean, I feel almost like hi-rez just needs more staff and more resources to throw at this game because, like, we've talked about all these things that need improvement, right? Like talking about balance, talking about draft mode, ranked, esports, the kind of money that they need to be throwing that, and attention they need to be giving that. But I mean, another area that really needs improvement is the game's UI. I mean, there's no good news spot for the UI. The UI is like it's pretty much a port from Tribes, and that's I mean. I think the UI could use some work. They definitely put in work, and it's getting better. Each time they patch and they do updates, it's definitely got better from where it first was when I started playing back in June or July. But now, I mean, it's still, there's still room to improve that, and you got to remember that people, you only really get to make a first impression once, right? So you have these people in the beta, they log in, they see the UI's kind of buggy. It's it's so, and then they get into the game, and if they end up not having the best experience, they may never come back. So you really need to. I think some of that stuff needs to be improved. And like me personally, I mean, hell, I would rather have draft mode and bans and ranked fixed before any improvements to the UI. But I mean, which one's the better business decision? I don't know. I mean, it certainly needs to be done. There's definitely a lot on their plate that they need to do, which is why I think maybe I don't know if they need to increase resources, or I guess they announced like they were going to work on Global Agenda 2. I almost wish they would just combine that, just cancel that and combine the teams to get more resources onto Smite, because it needs a lot of I mean, they've done a lot of things really great, but there's a lot still to be done.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. And what I think they're kind of missing is that they really need to look at the volunteer community, because there are lots of guys who are in college who have nothing else to do, or maybe kids who are in high school, they want to help out,
or middle
and
school.
they could do so many different things if they could just get some organization to them, and they could help out in improving the game and testing things, and maybe,
Over
even
18
doing,
online.
like, we'll do a 400 gem giveaway if you mock up the best UI you can think of, and then they just get, hundreds of submissions for what the optimum UI would be, and it's like they got 400 kids to do their work for them. It's that kind of stuff that would really help out and take a load off of other stuff. So,
by the way, did you guys do that for the intro on the podcast? Because that animation was pretty good.
Yeah, we did that.
So, thank you.
Good stuff. That looked really cool. I was kind of impressed.
Well, I
did not
like
expect the level
professional.
of production.
That's the plan. That's why we sit in front of a green screen.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So,
all right.
I guess that about wraps it up for our thing.
It was a great conversation, guys. We'll have to do something like this again eventually.
Yeah. Of course, if you haven't been reading in chat, we are doing a God Pack giveaway in the on our Facebook. So the link has been posted in the chat, and I guess we will Should we give it away tonight, or should we actually give it away tomorrow and let some of the EU people get a chance to watch the VOD first?
We'll give it away tomorrow at noon.
Tomorrow at noon to give the European guys who are currently asleep a chance to, like and win, because, we don't want to. We just kind of thought of the giveaway this evening, so I don't want to ruin everybody's chance.
We were talking about it earlier this week.
Well, you didn't tell me. So, anyway, now I guess it's time for shout-outs. Let's go with those. Lionheart. Or let's start with Dradow this time, because we've been starting on Lionheart's side too often today.
Lord of Darkness.
Lord of Darkness, give us your shout-outs.
Just a shout out to my friend who has no internet right now. Must be really hard, man. 2 weeks no internet.
He can't hear you straight.
Respect, man.
So is he sitting in his room now trying to plug a RJ45 cable into his arm yet, or like sticking in his ear? Please talk to me, internet.
I guess he's drunken somewhere, lying in the streets.
He's just talking, mumbling about how he would build Raw.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, precisely.
Smite, alcohol.
Oh, I need a polynomicon.
Exactly. Cool.
Very nice.
PonPon, you have any shout-outs?
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to my team. They've all been working hard, and we've been slowly getting better. I also want to give a specific shout-out to Capslock, who is now going on the forum posting as Hades pointing at people and telling them they're wrong about Greco-Roman mythology. It's really hilarious if you ever see him on the forums. And also a shout-out to Jerb, who did the charity stream.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great.
That was fantastic to see.
You must get these kind of things more often.
Absolutely.
Cool. Mr. Brandon?
Yes, senor.
Obviously, big shout-outs to all the Juice kids. During tournament play, we all have good games, we all have bad games. Some of us go really negative, some of us go really positive. In every game, we do our best to, like, if someone's playing bad, we hype them up, try to get them psyched, get them to play better. And my team, despite the fact that some of you may think we're assholes or good or bad or broken or, terrible, we all play together as a team so well. And I'm really pumped to have this team together. So major shout-outs to those guys. And shout-outs to everyone on NA right now that are putting teams together, especially PonPon, because, like, the competition level is rising, and we want to see the game grow. So, big shout-outs.
Thank you.
Agreed. Yuli?
Shout out to BLG.eu and the guys in NA, because we scrimmed them a couple of times. I hope really they get the roster fixed and whatever they need to fix. But basically, shout out to every team, every new team, as Brandon said, because we really need it. It's always fun to see new faces. And shout out to Methmaster 7000. He's an awesome guy. And he can make the plays happen.
Wait, didn't Methmaster lose to a sack of oranges? I think a sack of oranges bodied that kid.
I don't know. I think he was trying out that ninja tap is so big. He saw some pro guy.
I don't know. I heard you got squeezed by the oranges. I mean him.
I'll try your 1-9 Artemis next time.
Oh, okay. Damn. All right, you win. You got me. I got nothing. My Artemis is ass.
Lionheart, bring us out.
Peace to everyone.
Yeah, peace.
And chicken grease. Go ahead, Lionheart.
I just want to give a shout out to everybody on the stream right now, all the team captains who showed up today. Thank you for coming on the show and telling us a little bit about what you have planned for the competitive future and kind of shooting the shit with us. I want to thank all the teams out there for helping make esports possible. Without you guys, I don't have anything to cast, and quite honestly, I didn't realize I'd like casting as much as I do. I fully intended on just playing, and then when my team kind of broke up, I kind of reevaluated my position and decided I'd give casting a shot. And the feedback was actually overwhelmingly positive, much more than I expected. I just thought I would try it once and that would be it. So I'm kind of sticking with that, and I've been having fun with that. And of course, still playing on the side. And we'll see where that all goes. But so I thank all the teams out there, everybody who's watching the show for supporting the show and giving me some place to talk about, stuff that maybe none of you care about. And basically just thank you to BLG for hosting the show and Beyond the Rift for you guys having me back. I'm pretty honored to be asked back on this show again. I'm not on any team. I do play with a lot of the competitive players at all levels, and so I have a great time, and I'm pretty honored to be here. So thank you.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, sir. And guys, thank you for joining us tonight. We ran a little long, but it was a great conversation. All of you guys who just tuned in recently, this is Beyond the Rift, sponsored by BL Gaming. You can watch the VOD of this and many of our other things. You can also check out guides and God previews and all sorts of other cool stuff at our website, BLGaming.com. Check it out. We also have guides written by pros and some of the ones here. In fact, Lionheart even has a guide up. So check it out, BLGaming.com. And thank you guys so much for joining us. It was a blast tonight, and we will see you next week at this time, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
I don't want to say anything else this
No,
this
go
episode.
for it. Go for it. It's all right.
Okay, one thing I wanted to say to help encourage the competitiveness is I want any of your new teams who want to, like, you know, have practice partners and stuff like that, post on the BL Gaming forums, and I'll make sure that I can hook you up with the other teams. So that way they get to know everybody. Because, I mean, they obviously want more competition. So if you have a team and you want to play against, like, BLG or especially BLG and BLG.eu, I can definitely line you up with them. I can't vouch for the rest of the teams, but I can do my best. So, you know, post there, and I'll see if these guys would be happy enough to, you know, check there and see if they can get scrims or just help you find teams. Even if you want to find teams, just post there, and we'll be happy to do what we can to assist in making the competitive side more competitive.
Hey, can I sneak in one more shout out?
Sure.
I forgot an important one. I actually want to give a shout out to all the hi-rez employees that hang out on the live streams, because a lot of the stuff that happens that goes down, you know, like gem giveaways, Artemis skin code giveaways, even my ability to have spectator mode is because members of the hi-rez staff have you know, hung out on the live streams. And so I want to say a big thank you to them. And I know that there's some members of hi-rez who don't have Twitch accounts or don't log into Twitch accounts that watch also. I know Erez is one of them, the CEO of hi-rez, and so I want to say a big thank you to them. I know that we talked today about maybe increasing some of the transparency about what they're doing with the game, but the fact that they come on and listen to what we have to say is really cool. So that was like a huge shout out that I totally missed on the first time. I wanted to give that, and I'm sure pretty much everybody on this show probably feels the same way about that.
Yeah, they're really good, and they watch our stream too, and we really enjoy it.
Yeah, we love it when, like, Duke takes time away from it's his off time. He's not at work, and he comes onto the show with us and stuff like that. He's taking time away from his family, and that's, you know, amazing for the fact that he'll do it for just some random podcast.
Yeah, they're on at night. Oh yeah, shout out to Zapman too.
Yeah,
shout out to Zapman. Shout out to
thank you for Zapman. Sorry you couldn't join us tonight. Maybe next time.
Shout out to Biancan and Major for making us this pretty overlay.
Yes, thank you, Major, for our nice new overlay.
And Rasmus for that intro that Brandon likes.
Yep.
So, all right, well, we must run now. Thank you guys for joining us. We will cut it out now and actually go. So next Thursday, 9 p.m., sorry.
Yeah,
and,
not a.m.
9 p.m.
don't
Eastern.
come looking at it.
Thursday nights. Come and join us. It's been a blast. Have fun.